Hello, I'm Eric Valentine, here on behalf of LeGrandAlive.tv. For our program today, I'd like to take you on a trip to outside of our immediate Grand Ronde Valley. We're going to travel to Baker County, to a unique location that lies east of Baker City, the town of Halfway. Halfway is for, I think, the people in Baker City is what Wallowa Lake is to us, that if you wish to travel eastward and you're going out from Baker City, Halfway provides a wonderful option. It sits at the, as you can see from this picture, it sits at the bottom of the south side of the Wallowa Mountains. Beautiful farmland. In fact, this location would be a very wealthy location if you could really make money on attracting tourists from all over. We stay at an excellent bed and breakfast known as the Pine Valley Lodge, and we'll see a picture, several pictures of the Pine Valley Lodge. It's owned by a ranching family there, and it was originally a ranch house and some bunk houses that they've converted into a delightful bed and breakfast. And we'll just show you a few pictures of the fun aspects of it. They have a salmon carved on the gateway. I took this one, as you can notice, with the salmon eating the full moon. And then there are wonderful, wonderful petunia flowers that hang amidst colorful posts, making a delightful place to hang out on the porch, relax, and enjoy a very excellent breakfast. One more picture before we go elsewhere. Oh, and I would like to say that this book I'm holding up, it's MacArthur's Oregon Geographic Names. It's gone through many editions, but it's a fun book to carry with you, or at least to have at home, just to learn why towns are named the way they're named. And Halfway was named in the mid-1880s because it was halfway between the mining town of Cornucopia and the now non-existent town of Pine. So we're going to leave Cornucopia and head up on the road toward Cornucopia. I'm not going to show any pictures actually of Cornucopia. It's an interesting, very beautiful setting. However, the buildings have basically deteriorated, and maybe we'll go on a tour of Cornucopia another time. However, the road to Cornucopia is, at this time of year, is filled with huckleberries. Meg and I enjoyed the company of our son Michael and his wife Sarah, who flew out from New Hampshire and joined us for a couple days. They were on their way to McCall, but we started our time together picking huckleberries, and the next few pictures will show the success. There are Michael and Sarah with full containers, and the next picture shows the excellent results by the color of our hands. From Halfway, then, we went eastward to Fish Lake. It's aptly named. The fishing there is most excellent. Another delightful gem that really I don't think too many people from LeGrand actually visit, but it's a excellent gravel road that leads to it. The road itself was along the side of the road. It was filled with wildflowers, particularly purple lupin, that are gorgeous in and of themselves. Plus, if the wind is blowing the right way, they have a very delightful and delicious fragrance to them. So we picnicked at Fish Lake, and I handed the camera to Michael because he holds much more steadily than I do. And this next picture, you can see an eagle that was hanging out on the lake. And there was also a little bird, a little baby sandpiper that moved around, bobbing up and down, and sort of knew we were there, but he and his brothers and sisters were a fun little bit of entertainment to watch. We left Fish Lake and reached Twin Lakes. Twin Lakes had many lily pads with the flowers blooming, and here is one of the examples that was very, very lovely. We traveled again further eastward, reached the so-called Loop Road, which connects between Halfway and Joseph and the town of Imnaha. From the Loop Road, you reach the Hells Canyon Overlook. I took you there a couple weeks ago on the 4th of July weekend, and I spent at that overlook. We were pleased to be able to show it to Michael and Sarah and had a delightful dinner there. It was getting into the evening as we left the overlook. Again, I handed the camera to Michael when we saw this immature great horned owl, and it stared at us. I just love the way the big eyes of an owl look at you. You really feel that an owl is examining your mind and trying to figure out what we as human beings are thinking. And then further on along the road in the waning light as it got warm and rich, here was an elk silhouetted eating on the ridgeline. The next day, we headed to the Upper Imnaha area, the Upper Imnaha River area, and I'd like to talk about, frankly, one of the, I think, one of the best hikes in Northeast Oregon. It's a hike from Indian Crossing, which is at the end of the Upper Imnaha River Road. 2.5 miles takes you to the Blue Hole. It's a fairly level trail. You pass, a lot of it is in the shade, going through magnificent ponderosa pine trees that just invite you into them, so to speak. The area was rich with flowers. The river sang to us, and as we continued on up the trail. But before I actually talked about reaching the Blue Hole, let me tell you about the Lewis woodpeckers that were in the tree. Again, Michael took the camera. Lewis woodpeckers are a most stimulating species to watch because they are a rare fly-catching woodpecker. Instead of holding on to the grasping a tree and using their head and beak to prize out insects, they actually perch on the limbs, and as they see insects out in the air flying, they go out and snatch them out of the air. And Michael got this wonderful picture of, I assume it's a mother feeding one of its looks like fairly mature offspring, feeding it an insect. So a unique, fun picture. At the Blue Hole itself, you see Meg there. The Blue Hole is a nice holding area for salmon, and if you're there at the right time, you can watch salmon coming up to spawn. When you reach the trail that goes down to the Blue Hole and go to the river there, that's at the downriver side. And what is interesting is to go up into the kind of the cliffs that lie above the Blue Hole, and here is daughter-in-law Sarah looking down into a very steep and narrow chasm. And the next picture will show the wonderful blue water of the Blue Hole. So if you go and take the time to hike up this trail, definitely enjoy wading and swimming where the trail hits the river, but take some time to go up in those rocks, tread cautiously, and enjoy the views you get looking deep down into the river itself. Thank you for venturing with me again, and thank you to Anything to Digital and Brent Clapp Media Services. I'm Eric Valentine for LeGrandAlive.tv.